Joining us on a conversation today, we have Instagrammer, film collector, and Disney enthusiast, movie buff Grant. How's it going today?
Doing pretty well. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Glad that you could join me today.
Uh,
So the way we do this is we start off with a non-movie question, and then we get into the movie stuff from there. So I was watching your film journey with my friend Nathan Jones, and I found out you're a big Disney fan, even besides the physical media.
That's true.
So what was your favorite part about visiting the parks?
I think visiting around the parks has been complete. So focusing on the Disney parks, I am a huge Disney fan, and usually I would be recapping some of the Disney Halloween time events, which is currently in September or October, around those times. And yesterday, I was recapping the Hong Kong Disneyland and Tokyo Disneyland for the Halloween events. And Shanghai is going to be in October, and Disneyland Paris is going to be in October. So I will be recapping everything through the massive events.
That sounds cool. I saw that you posted about the movie schedule that they announced. I guess it was yesterday at the time of this recording. What do you think about that? Yeah, especially with the Little Mermaid staying on schedule.
Next Goal Wins was a huge surprise because and it's being directed by Taika Waititi.
What did you think of the D3 announcements, and what was your favorite?
D23.
D23.
I'm actually kind of excited for most of the things coming out, movies and TV shows that are coming in. Yesterday, I got a huge announcement from Disney Plus that we're going to be getting 4 classic Disney shows. One of them you might recognize through your childhood. I don't know, but it's called Zorro from 1960s or in the 70s that came on The Wonderful World of Disney. That's huge. And 3 Disney Junior shows that I grew up with. Bear in the Big Blue House, PBJ and Otter, and of course, one of my favorite Disney Junior shows of all time, Sophia the First. That got me rolling as a huge Disney Junior fan.
You mentioned Disney Plus. People really disliked that live action Pinocchio that came out recently, but you enjoyed it. You said you enjoyed it for what it was. As someone who hasn't watched it yet, tell me what you enjoyed about it.
So basically, everything about Disney movies, any movies that you guys hate, I still enjoy the humor, the changes going forward, because what they did back then was totally inclusive. Some changes were still there. I'm just thinking that Pinocchio was kind of like a good Disney movie in the modern time. This is for the new generation, and live action remakes are like, oh, we need to reflect that in the modern era of our time. So basically, I'm just like, I'll do whatever I please for the most part.
It's almost like if it's exactly like what we remember, people aren't satisfied, like The Lion King, and if it's too different, then there's complaints there. But I haven't seen it, so I can't really make a determination of what's the reason that it got like poor ratings and everything, poor reviews.
We are getting a lot more in the next D23, which is in 2024, I guess.
They're not doing it next year?
They're not doing it. I don't think they're doing it next year. They do it every 2 years going forward.
Gotcha. I didn't know that.
But Disney Plus is still keeping forward with Disney Plus Day every year. So keep that up.
I know collecting wise, you focus more on VHS and DVD, but do you ever Do you have like a Blu-ray player? Do you do any type of Blu-ray collecting at all, or is it strictly VHS and DVDs?
To answer your first question, I do have a Blu-ray player. VHS and DVDs, I do own a VCR and a DVD combo, but I don't use the DVD combo as much. I just use the Blu-ray player mostly for DVDs because I have like a wider screen for the movie to go forward.
Yeah, and, so it does upscaling.
Yes. Arrow, and what are the movies that I collect? Not Arrow, not Criterion, not Vinegar Syndrome or Severin. They're expensive out of my youth. Black Friday basically does not count, because if it's like $15, that is when I'm like,
Gotcha. So you mentioned Criterion. What do you think about the Pixar collaboration with Criterion? That was an interesting announcement.
I just posted about this, and basically, Wall-E was the first one to come out of it, and I'm just like, wow, they are actually really going through the Disney collaboration. And I think that's part of the 100th anniversary type of deal, where you have to give some of the ones that aren't going to be released on Blu-ray into that boutique label, which I kind of find that very interesting. Like, if we don't see, let's see, Die Hard on 4K from Criterion, then I believe we're gonna have more coming from Criterion on the Disney side of 4K Criterion.
It's interesting because as popular of a movie as Wall-E is, it seems like more people are interested in what it opens up, the possibility of what it opens up. Like you said, a Fox movie like Die Hard, or more Pixar or Disney movies. It's almost like people are looking at the possibilities more than anything else. So with the Wall-E coming out on Criterion, and it's also coming out during the 50% off sale that's at Barnes and Nobles, it'll probably be about $25. Still too rich for your blood?
Yeah, not my type of interest. Basically, I don't have like a pure heart of gold of Criterion or any boutique labels, because they're just like rich people trying to get the money out of you, and I'm just like, you do you. I'm just gonna do my own thing on buying most of the stuff that I collab over the years.
It was interesting to hear you say Paramount. How did you get onto that?
So basically, I had like a childhood dream to own some of the Paramount titles, but then I found out that there was just more of it. Like I bought like recently, I bought what is it? The movie called Teen Wolf. Sue hates that movie, and I love it. But I actually posted saying, "Sorry, Sue. A girl's trash is a man's treasure." For Teen Wolf. Sorry, Sue. But I love that movie. But I also love every Paramount movie ever made, especially Wayne's World, Forrest Gump. I don't want to mention Top Gun Maverick, which I didn't see yet. Many people are still raving about it. I'm picking it up as soon as possible on Black Friday.
It was a really good movie. I would put it definitely towards the top 3 of my movies for the year. I still have Everything Everywhere All at Once at number 1, but Top Gun Maverick is like right behind it.
Mine is The Bad Guys and Brahmastra Part 1 Shiva, which is a Bollywood movie. Many Indian people were seeing that at the theaters, and I saw it for the first time with my family.
I haven't seen The Bad Guys yet. I have to check that out. I've heard good things about it.
It's a heist movie. Kind of feels like a Quentin Tarantino kids movie. But it is so good. I can't, and it's Luke Ponto's favorite animated movie of the year, and mine as well.
Coming from a Disney fan, that's high praise. Turning to your Instagram page, you have two statements on there. The first one said that you're watching movies that are suitable for me. What's the criteria for what's suitable for Grant?
Anything that is family friendly or anything that doesn't involve sci-fi disaster or anything that is related to the future of like, oh, what's going to happen to our planet if we don't save it type of movies. So I'm just going to mention Moonfall, which I just watched the other night. It was horrible. Literally straight up. Like, I know it feels like a popcorn movie, but let's just say it just went straight up down waterfall completely. I watched Downtown Abbey for the first time. I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like a personal movie that I can feel like have a sense of humor, have everything that I enjoy for a movie, like and especially Queen Elizabeth, R.I.P. I love everything that Downtown Abbey did, and just what a good movie it was, because it has two sequels at the moment.
Yeah. So you saw the first one, is what you're saying.
I saw the first one, and I did see the second one when I was on the road. Completely good.
The second statement says your age, and then it says with autism in the movie community. Tell me more about that.
So basically, I started the Movie Buff Grant page around September of 2020 because I was being true to myself at that time, saying like, oh, like I wanted to show off what I collect. And I didn't create Letterboxd until last year. So that was a huge deal for me.
Mm-hmm. Do you rate them or just put in diary entries, or do you do full-blown reviews?
I do reviews.
Nice.
Like if I love the movie so much, I would just put it in there. And so I try to focus on horror movies that I have not seen, but keep it in the PG or the PG-13 side. I do rated R movies sometimes now. But way back then, I just focused on G, PG, and PG-13 titles. Those are the only ones that I get to be comfortable with. And rated R got me into 21. So, and yes, I did watch Boys in the Hood and Menace to Society. Many people are going to be talking about that in the comments. I don't even care. But they made me cry like a baby. I'm not gonna lie, but it is such an emotional movie, and I cannot tell you how respectable that we need to be in an honor society about get to know yourself, and also try to be in a physical media community where you actually understand a person going forward.
Yeah, I think that's important, and I think that's one thing that movies do. You know, people say they use movies to escape or whatever, but part of that escape is getting introduced to other worlds and other realities and other cultures. You know, it doesn't have to be a foreign film. You don't live in Compton, or you don't live like in Oakland, and that could be foreign to you. You could even live there, and just that those worlds are different and foreign to you. So I think movies give us like little insight into the worlds of others around us.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
We've had some re-releases lately with the movies. I mean, you had E.T., we had Jaws, we're going to have Avatar soon on the big screen. What are a movie or two that you would like to see re-released in theaters?
I do not care any re-releases at all. Because
really?
Re-releases on 4K or in theaters, I actually do not care one bit about. But I but I would love to see new generations going to see it for the first time, saying like Jaws, be like, oh, that's the movie where cinemas rule them all, and
Yeah.
Star Wars, for the fact, the first one did.
Hmm.
But I would love to see a re-release. Uh, like I do not care for it, but I would love to see what they would do with Song of the South.
Ooh. Ooh.
And
I
just
don't think you're gonna see that on the big screen.
and just put
You're not
warning
gonna see that on the
signs.
big screen.
I would just see them do like a re-release, but just edit out some of the scenes that were like too much. Like edit
They
out the
would they would have to do a lot of editing, Grant.
yeah they would do. But
Oh my
I'm just saying this is the
god.
reason why that I do not care. But
They won't even bring that to physical media. That's why if you go looking on things like eBay or Mercari or whatever, you have so many people putting up like bootleg copies of it because it seems like that's the only way you could really get it.
yeah, I kind of agree.
But that was probably the most interesting answer I've ever heard to any question I've ever asked.
I don't care. Bring some of the re-releases that hasn't been straight to theaters. Just bring it. Like Turning Red, Soul, Luca.
Yeah.
Those three, I would bring back.
But you're right about those other movies you mentioned. I still remember seeing the trailer for Turning Red when it was still it was going to be a theatrical release, and then they made the decision to just put it directly on Disney Plus. And I don't know, it seems like it got a good a
Yeah,
positive review. Soul is right. That should have been in the theaters as well. So I take it you still go to the theaters, and it's not just strictly home home media.
no, I still do home media, but I just go to theaters once in a while
Hmm.
for good entertainment.
Yeah, the way they're coming out so quickly on physical media. I mean, it's almost like if you miss something, it's like, oh, I could wait. So, for example, the movie Vengeance, I I try to see that like three times in the theater, and something always came up that I missed the show. And then I looked, and I think it comes out on Tuesday on physical. Yeah, it comes out on Tuesday the 20th. So
Uh, I still haven't seen Easter Sunday, and basically, I already pre-ordered right away because I know that there's going to be a physical release date. So I just pre-ordered.
whether it's physical media at home or in the theaters, what upcoming movies are you looking forward to seeing this fall?
Mainly the movies that I'm actually excited for the most. Thor: Love and Thunder coming to physical media. I cannot wait to see Top Gun Maverick on physical media. And plus, you guys with the Rankin Bass holiday specials coming into 4K this November with Top Gun Maverick.
November is going to be fun. You mentioned Top Gun Maverick, Elf in 4K. I'm looking forward to that. Casablanca being released, Saturday Night Fever,
The Polar
Wayne's World.
Express.
You know, I've never been a Polar Express fan. I don't know what it is.
I
I just never got that movie.
I loved it, man, because that's one of my favorite childhood Christmas movies.
Yeah.
It's just a musical. It doesn't have a villain, but it does deserve meaning on Christmas. Always believe on Christmas, and I love trains. I always
Hmm.
definitely love trains, and that is why I am going to focus on one of my favorite childhood shows, Thomas and Friends, of course, because it's being rebooted and it's getting negative responses. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be working on the Thomas verse for just a second, but not completely yet because I have to go to film school.
I heard you mention that on Nathan's video about the Thomas verse, and That seems very interesting. So I'm definitely looking forward to how that develops. So, you ready to do the five takes?
Ready.
All right. So, number one, name the film that made you fall in love with the movies.
Shrek, honestly, because I love that movie to death. It is still one of my favorite franchises so far, and I am looking forward to seeing Puss in Boots: The Last Wish coming up in December. So the franchise is still killing it with still new humor and all that type of stuff that we haven't even seen yet. So I'm
Yeah,
just giving it my thought, and Shrek was the one that started and made me fall in love with movies.
that's pretty cool because I still remember when that franchise started, and it was definitely a pleasant surprise. I didn't think anyone expected anything from the guy who brought us Austin Powers, but then when he came out with that, it definitely opened up like a new genre for him and a new audience of fans. Whereas before he might have had like the teenagers and young adults, now we had the kids too. Good choice. Number two, name five of your favorite films.
Green Book at number five, with Marshala Ali. Number
Hmm.
four would be Forrest Gump, which many people might know the best movie of all time in my generation. Three, I'm gonna have to go with the Disney side of things, and that might be Moana because I love that film, and Lin-Manuel Miranda's performance is absolutely incredible. And also you can't compete with the Disney villain that has the best villain song twist in our generation, which is Shiny. And I cannot tell you how much that song got stuck in my head for the last 2 to 3 years of my
Yeah,
life.
it's funny you mentioned that, and immediately I hear Dwayne Johnson singing "You're Welcome." Like just, it's like an airworm. It'll be in my head for like the next 4 hours.
Yeah, my number three is Moana. Two is I don't know how to put this. I'm gonna go for another classic Disney film, and that is The Lion King, which easily top story. Don't care about
Yeah,
the live remake, but I still enjoy it. But the animation just blew me away, and another thing of storytelling, you got to have the best one yet.
yeah. That's one of my favorite Disney classic movies, and I know it's basically a Shakespearean story retold, but I love that movie.
And number one, I'm actually gonna put this one in. No one has never even seen this, but a silent voice anime flick that talks about the death. And basically, this one is absolutely an emotional movie, and it's
Hmm.
very difficult to watch, but I loved it. It is one of those like bully seeking redemption type of stories, and I kind of feel like this movie needs to be more recognized. And it got 3 Academy Awards for Best Anime Film of the Year, and it's the same guys who did Your Name anime film, which is absolutely interesting. And if you want to buy it on physical media, it's on shoutfactory.com.
And what's the title of it again?
A Silent Voice. It
Silent
is,
Voice, 2016.
yeah, it is so good, man. But a very hard watch.
Uh,
The past like 40 minutes, and it gets really hard. Every single thing.
huh, I gotta check that out. Sounds interesting.
It's
That's
not just
part of the beauty of doing these conversations. People recommend a lot of good movies to me, so I'll look forward to checking that one out.
all right.
Number three, name a classic movie that everybody loves, but you can't stand.
I'm going to get a lot of hate for this.
Everyone says that.
But
Everyone
no,
says
I'm
it.
being serious. It's the first Raiders of the Lost Ark film. which Indiana Jones, that completely terrified me. Not the face melt scene, because that was brilliant, but it was
Yeah.
actually two scenes that got me uncomfortable and almost wanted to shut the movie off immediately, because I would get like dramatizing moments. It's when Marion gets trapped in the skeleton. Spoilers for those of you that have not seen it. It is mainly Marion gets stuck under a pit, and there is skeletons roaming with snakes, and it was, oh, it
Yeah.
got me. And then when Indian rescues Marion, Major Tots, I did not know that you mentioned this, but there was like Nazi zombies or something that kind of like diluted from Major Todd screaming, and I was horrified,
Huh.
literally horrified. I really wish that you don't put this clip in there, because that will give me more nightmares on the YouTube
I
video.
won't. I
Please.
won't.
But yeah,
But
that Raiders of the Lost Ark really terrified me mostly.
what did you think of Temple of Doom then? The second one.
Second one was better. I would prefer Temple of Doom over the first one anyway.
Yeah, I'm realizing, especially these days, a lot of people are saying either they didn't like Raiders, like you said, or they just prefer Temple of Doom being the better movie, which I agree. It was a step up from the first one. The first one was kind of like, the more you find out about it, it was kind of like how people accuse Quentin Tarantino of borrowing from 100 movies to make one. That's essentially what Raiders of the Lost Ark is. It's a bunch of movies and scenes and scenarios from other older swashbuckling type movies put into one movie, and then have this archaeologist character around it. But Temple of Doom was much more original compared to Raiders. Okay, let's flip that then. Number 4, name a critically hated movie that you love.
The Nutcracker and the Four Realms, and and especially what was another one that many people hated? Sky High. Those movies
I
were
like Sky High. I
uh,
really do like Sky High. Was that
those
was that
that was
hated?
like that was like 2004 or 2005 when that movie came
Yeah.
out, and I watched most of these movies during 2019 and 2018 when most of those movies came out. Many people hated the Nutcracker because of what they did to the story, and also that long Nutcracker scene dancing. Many people hated that, and they decided to change the characters up a bit. But
Hmm.
I don't mind it one bit. It was very hard settling, and it was kind of an enjoyment that I like, honestly.
Yeah. The Nutcracker in Four Realms has a 32% on Rotten Tomatoes, but Sky High has a 73%. So we're not alone. Other people like Sky High too. I thought it was great. I still have it on DVD.
Yeah, it's already on Disney Plus right now, which
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Cool. And finally, number 5, who would you like to see me have a conversation with on this channel?
I'm gonna cheat on this one.
Ooh.
In one, I decided to choose two people. Mainly, the ones that I go for are the ones that I trust the most. And the first people that I want to bring on is Coco Dutch with Brian Goes Blue, because these two people are recognizable in Florida. And the second person that I would love to see, and I don't think it hasn't been done yet, but I want to see mid-level media with Married with Media, Ken and Michelle. Absolutely.
That would be fun.
It's the reason why the physical media community started off with mid-level media, and especially many people that are around us. And I'm like, give Brian Goes Blue and mid-level media time to join the conversation on most of these.
So I want to thank you for your time today, Grant. We got a chance to get together and collaborate, so I'm happy for that. And just want to thank you. If you want to promote anything, this is your opportunity.
You can follow me on Instagram, Movie Buff Grant. I am currently, thanks to D23, I have now got up to 3K followers. Thank you guys so much for that. And you can also follow me on TikTok, called Grant B. Atkins. And you can follow me on Letterboxd, which I completely got back on after a 6-month hiatus, starting off with Pinocchio. And leading up there.
I will have to look for you, and I'll give you a follow on Letterboxd since I already follow you on Instagram.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
All right, man. Thank you.